Good morning. Moving day yesterday in the Premier League. Any trades? Well, let's have a look. As ever, the odds equal the scoreline. Do watch out for that pattern. Didn't get a 20-minute ruler yesterday. Vardiol in excellent form. A couple of goals from him. Dead rubber. Don't trade dead rubbers unless you want to lose money. Good result for Everton, continuing their excellent run recently. And it was Decore this time. Normally Calvert-Lewin, well, he got the assist. He's been in really good form, resurgent form. Newcastle and Brighton. I thought Newcastle got the late winner. Looks like it was scrubbed off from Mr. Gordon. Yeah, I don't understand bringing Kieran Trippier on with 2 minutes to go, unless he's got an injury concern. The reason I didn't get enthused about a Newcastle equaliser, well, I was waiting for the second half and I was waiting for substitutions. It's a very strange lineup from Eddie Howe. Number of first teamers. You're looking for European football, remember? So why on earth did he have so many high-profile people on the bench? We had the likes of your man Trippier, Almiron, Pope on the bench as well. They're not in Europe. They want to be in Europe, but they've got no European club competition, so I really didn't understand this at all. It was not the strongest first 11. That's what kept me from playing that match. Tottenham, well, what kept me from laying the draw here, although it did look rather inevitable, this is the kind of match you do lay the draw in. Both teams desperate need for points for different reasons. That's a big push towards that draw ending, and it went the way of Tottenham. But again, look at their recent form. They've been woeful. So in that regard, I missed out the profit there. But you could have taken that. I did mention in the live stream, these are the matches you target. West Ham and Luton, this was all about in-play stats yesterday, and a great note from one of our members, Bosun, just mentioning that this is the last home match for David Moyes. So that in itself is motivation, because other than that, it's a dead rubber for West Ham. Luton continue their both teams to score pattern, and it's an appalling one. 13 of the last 14, make it 14 of the last 15, both teams to scores. They've only won the one match. So they were eminently gettable as West Ham started improving their stats. And it was quite a good odds for West Ham. I like to use the +1 market. So really good stuff. Say goodbye to David Moyes with a win, and Luton are down now, unless they score something like 13 goals in a win on the final day. Wolves and Palace, dead rubber. But do note this Crystal Palace for next season, particularly if they keep the first 11. Under the new manager, the first time under the new manager, they've scored more than one goal. They remain unbeaten. This was a dead rubber for Nottingham Forest, pretty much. But Chelsea got the win coming from behind. Bringing on a couple of England internationals does help. Raheem Sterling was excellent with an excellent finish. And Reece James coming on to get told Nicholas couldn't hit a cow's arse with a banjo. Jackson on the score sheet. So a really good performance from Chelsea, continuing their excellent run. And as you can see in the standings, Nottingham Forest are pretty much safe. Look at the goal difference. 19, 29, 30, 31. 12 goal difference. So Luton have to win 12-0 or hope Nottingham Forest lose 6-0 and Luton win 6-0, that kind of thing. It ain't going to happen, is it? They're equal on points. Whether or not, no. Luton will be equal on points with a win, but they are, as you can see, down. Not mathematically yet, but realistically. And in the German Bundesliga, we did take on a few late draws because there was European need for points. And we got one of them come in, FC Köln, late on. Dead rubber for Dortmund, dead rubber for Leipzig. So very tough to trust these two. They've already got Champions League football in hand. And this is what we have to tackle at this stage of the season. Bologna have been in exceptional form this season. I didn't take on the Bologna lead. I wasn't seeing it in the in-play stats for Napoli. AC Milan back to winning ways. They have an excellent head-to-head record against Cagliari, and that showed last night. This was a winning trade for me. I didn't pass it on to you because I was half asleep. You add 6 hours to the kickoff time and you'll know. I got to bed about 4 a.m. It's a toughie, but made some cash. A 0-2 lead for Osasuna was very much against the run of expectation, but Iñaki Williams turned up to make it 1-2, and Villalibre. I got involved at 1-2 by laying over 3.5 goals to cover the current scoreline of 1-2, and just sat and fell asleep and woke up to a profit. 96-minute equaliser. Athletic Bilbao are looking at Europe, so I had to win. Real Madrid, dead rubber, but Granada, the difference in class was there. Villarreal, we made a profit out of this. If you were at the live stream, you could have heard me cursing as I was about to get onto this when the market suspended. I've already placed my insurance. Look at it, it's a penalty. In-play stats were suggesting Villarreal were the better team, so I got the equaliser, but then El Nesri turned up. But again, in-play stats suggest that Villarreal were the better team, and Mosquera getting the 84th minute equaliser for a nice profit for me. So enjoyed that one. La Liga 2, no real play there yesterday, apart from Ferrol, I think. We took on the red card for Ferrol because Ferrol needed points. We had this with Adanaspor as well in Turkish League 1, which is its last day of the season. Ferrol needed the points. Alcorcon certainly needed the points as well. But Alcorcon red carded. Ferrol took advantage. They need the points because they want to push for European football. Or not for European football, for promotion playoff places. We'll just go to Adanaspor against Bandamirspor. This is the kind of match you look for at this stage of the season. It's the last day of the season, okay? We've got a red card for Bandamirspor. They've got nothing to play for. Or they would have had something to play for had they not been red carded. But Adanaspor, with that single goal, taking advantage of the red card, got outside the relegation zone. That's the pressure you look for. Lay the draw second half. The negative, trusting such a poor side. So some really good stuff yesterday. I really hope you profited. Young boys, I laid over 1.5 goals, cover that insurance. It was a battle between the top two, so arguably you'd term that a derby-style match. So those were the main fixtures yesterday. As ever, we can have a quick look at the tennis, given we're in Rome at the moment. Novak Djokovic is playing today, but he's had a pretty poor, or shall we say quiet, 2024 under his standards. He's playing Tabilo. But let's have a look at yesterday. Any trading angles yesterday? Just the basic set trading. So we got a tiebreaker there. So arguably, I would have got involved in this one with a 1.62 favourite going down. But you wait until the second set to get a better angle in. Hope he drops a game by the second set. Let's have a look. Set 2. That's what you're after. The player you fancy to drop his service game, then you get involved because Medvedevic's odds will be far, far shorter with the game and a break of serve up. Then, if he doesn't achieve it, at least you've got the liability back. But if you got involved there, you could have got out there when Medvedev lost his serve. And then confirmation from Davidovich Fokina would have guaranteed you a return. So it's a new kind of an angle for me. As ever, trying to keep that liability as low as possible for any entry points. Particularly as this is not my standard sport. I do football trading. I want to get into tennis trading. This is the simplest method, is just to play the sets. As you can see here, Struff, Tsitsipas, bang. Tiebreaker as well. The underdog wins via a tiebreaker, i.e. he's just won the good points at the right time. So that's the kind of thing I'd play for. Look at Giron, winning the first set against Rublev as well. He's been in really excellent form. Form of his life, you'd say. Back to the footy today. And I think Man United are very vulnerable. They have conceded at least 2 or 3 goals against the top 2 this season. Quietly fancy Arsenal here, as does the market quite considerably. If you look at the challenge table at soccerstats.com, you'll see Man United's conceding of 3 goals against City and Arsenal this season. Man United still have something to play for. They're one of those sides that very, very tough to read, so could surprise. But got zero faith in Den Haag. He's pretty hopeless, isn't he? And I think Liverpool might be facing the same thing, trusting an Eredivisie manager in the Premier League. Is it really going to fit? The Eredivisie is a bit of a nonsense league. We only got Ajax, PSV, AZ Alkmaar, arguably, and FC Twente, the only real sides. Feyenoord, the only sides to really think about. The rest of them are awful. There's no strength in depth, a bit like the SPL, and they tend to be caught out in Europe as well. So interesting next season to see whether Arnie Slot, sounds like a character from The Simpsons, Arnie Pie in the Sky. We will see. Today, Hoffenheim have European ambitions, but they're about as trustworthy as a Tory politician. So we're going to have to watch this one. But Darmstadt are your usual, let's take 3 points off this lot. They are down. A win today will take Hoffenheim to 43 points, and that will take them into that European Conference League place. That's why I laid the draw yesterday, because Freiburg needed the win. Keep them in Europe. Bayern Munich, absolute dead rubber. So if you're going to play Bayern Munich, good luck. Dead rubber, no thank you. They're out of the Champions League as well. So a bit like Dortmund yesterday, a bit like Leipzig yesterday. Don't need to win. Didn't win. So watch out. The Wolves, anything to play for? They are 7 points above the relegation zone. They look safe. So it's a dead rubber. So it's up to you if you play or not. Yes, could be the last home match for Bayern Munich. That could be an angle in. I don't know if it is or not. I said could. I haven't checked. But playing dead rubbers, you're going to lose money. Bochum and Bayer Leverkusen, a simple angle here, which has served extremely well since Bayer Leverkusen won the title, is to expect them not to, or try to go to all season unbeaten. You had that recent example against Roma, 2-0 down. Prior to that, Dortmund and Stuttgart, 96th and 97th minute equalisers. So do watch out for that pattern today. Anything for Bochum, Dano? Let's have a look. In the standings, do they have any motivating factor for them today? They are only 3 points above the relegation zone with a game in hand. So they'll zoom up a place because Mönchengladbach only drew yesterday. 2 consecutive wins for Bochum now against Union Berlin, a relegation 6-pointer, and a win against the Hoff, scoring as well. So this could be a very interesting match. Leipzig, they've got a small matter of European final. That might be playing on their minds, but Xabi Alonso, I think, has got them mentally prepared to go for an unbeaten season. So this is going to be a fascinating match. It's a must-win for Bochum. It's a bear for Bayer Leverkusen, but they have been coming out of it unscathed. In Italian Serie A, watch out for the derby-style match with Atalanta. This should be a banker for Juventus today. Salernitana are down. The question is motivation at this stage of the season. This is where these standings tables will really help you. Juventus, Roma are 2 points away, 2 wins away from catching them in the Champions League. I think Juve are okay in that regard. Salernitana are down. Just be a little wary playing these derby-style matches. And particularly both sides were involved in Europe midweek as well. So it's interesting. Verona, Torino, 2.6 the favourite. Give that one a wide berth. Genoa and Sassuolo. Sassuolo involved in a relegation dogfight. Got a vital win against Inter Milan. 1-0 win. But a win today could take them at least equal on points with Empoli, albeit with a poorer goal difference. So motivation high. Genoa will be delighted to be safe, but I don't think they're going to be cracking Europe. So I think it's season over for Genoa. I do tend to side with teams with need at this stage of the season. Lazio and Empoli. Lazio Champions League football? No. They are currently trying to stave off Napoli in the Europa League group stages, but a win today takes them to 59 points and the possibility of breaking in particularly if Atalanta don't win today, and they've got that tough fixture with Roma. So the possibility of Champions League football to keep Lazio alive. Empoli are only 2 points above the relegation zone, so this is another watch out. Typically, from late March and April onwards, it's this lot who've got the better of this lot, contrary to logic. So watch out for an improved performance from Empoli today. In the Dutch Eredivisie, it's the last. Is it the last day of the season? 2 matches remain in the French League 1 in the Dutch Eredivisie. Twente and AZ Alkmaar likely fight it out for the remaining Champions League place. Ideally, a win for Twente to make third place theirs. Ajax and NEC fight out for the sole European League place. A win guarantees it for Ajax. Excelsior and Valvik fight it out to get it out of that final relegation place, which is a relegation playoff place. So those are the teams you look out for. All of the other stuff is peripheral dead rubber. Don't get involved. But watch out, keep an eye out for Feyenoord. You might want to watch Feyenoord today under Arnie Pie in the Sky from The Simpsons to see how they perform. I think they had the last match. So watch out for dead rubbers. 1:30 kickoff might be a good start for the live stream today. I have yet to confirm it, but I'll probably do it for 1:30. In La Liga, again, Cadiz and Getafe, 2.25 the favourite. Motivation, that's what we're looking for. The research takes a completely different outlook now. And, well, Cadiz, how many matches are remaining? In Spain, we can find that out here at uk.soccerway.com. Head down to Spain. How many matches remaining for Cadiz and Getafe to get out of jail, particularly Cadiz? Are they relegated? Let's have a look. La Liga. 4 matches remain, so it's not panic stations yet, Mr. Mannering. So don't worry. Plenty to play for. Cadiz really ideally must start collecting points. They are a little bit shy at the bottom. 26 to 34. That's 8 points shy with 4 matches remaining. So it's must-win territory for them. Getafe have had an excellent season. Yes, they're only 9 points away from Betis, but unlikely they'll break into the European places. Atletico Madrid, well, you can check in the standings whether the season is over by any arrows that you will see. Real Madrid, Girona, Barcelona, it's job done. Obviously, there's still Champions League spot for Atletico Madrid to grab. They're going to be hassled by Atletico Bilbao. Got that draw last night, which really helps Atletico Madrid. 1.4 favourites last night. Bilbao, they will be disappointed to drop 2 points. Add 2 points to this, and they'll be breathing down Atleti's neck. So plenty to play for Atletico Madrid as far as retaining a Champions League berth. Celta Vigo, plenty to play for as well, or is there? It's a 9-point gap, an 8-point gap to Cadiz. Still mathematically possible for Celta to be caught. Valencia and Rayo Vallecano. I think Rayo Vallecano, one of those sides who desperately need points and are one of those sides you normally take points from. Valencia, safe as houses. Again, 9-point gap, 8-point gap for Rayo Vallecano. So safe-ish. They could really do with some points. Real Betis playing Almeria have had only 1 win all season and are relegated. So this looks an obvious banker bet at home. And again, we've got Real Betis with a keen eye on the Europa League group stages as well. They're only 2 points shy. But positive goal difference for Sociedad. But a win today takes them to 55 for Betis. They are playing a side you should be beating. 17 points only for Almeria. So an interesting La Liga. La Liga 2 will be looking at in play. Allsvenskan, a little bit too early in the season for us to have a strong opinion on these. There have been some shock results. You saw with Sirius yesterday. AIK against Sirius. Sirius failing to score in 4 of the last 5 matches, scored 3+ goals yesterday. Where on earth did that come from? So just be careful. Early season, you could see some upsets. Turkish Super League. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff, which might suggest it's the last day of the season in Turkey. So let's have a look at that. It was the last day of the season in the Turkish One League yesterday. So we've got to just check out the standings, and throughout the day check out the live standings as goals come in. So, well, they're all kicking off at the same time, but we've got 3 matches remaining, so I don't understand this, and one of them only has been timed. So I don't understand. But we can perhaps read one of these previews to get an idea. We don't have the preview there. We've got it here. Super League take chase nearest the finish line, blah, blah, blah. 6 points behind Galatasaray, top of the table. 3 matches remaining. So it's even though they're kicking off at the same time, which normally indicates it's the last day of the season, there are 9 points available. So on a day like this, or days like this, I tend to star all of the kickoffs in leagues of importance and then check the standings to see whether there's a motivating factor. Yes, there's 9 points to play with. There's plenty still to play with, but they're all kicking off at the same time, so it's well worth your attention. Those are the main leagues today. Looks like a 1:30 kickoff for me today to get the Dutch. So I'll see you for a live stream at 1:30. Made some good green screens yesterday. Hopefully we can make more today. The in-play stats are going to be vital at this stage of the season as well. And we're looking for motivated sides versus unmotivated sides. As far as the tennis is concerned this afternoon, let's have a look. Do please read these previews. They've done all the heavy lifting for you. Quite superb. But taking your cues from the odds and looking at Rome, looking at Italian flag, Passaro against Borges. 1.5 is not a very, very strong favourite, but we've got an Italian in Rome. Yes, he's 240th in the world, but he might offer some resistance or significant determination and resilience. So watch out. Passaro, he is at home, got home support, so you could get some interesting match. Watch out for fellow countrymen as well, Fritz and Korda. If Korda wins the first set, I do like Taylor Fritz's ability to come back from behind. He's excellent at that. Looks like Zverev has shaken off his Munich meltdown, but again, he's playing another Italian today, so this could be an interesting match. You might want to lay Zverev if he wins the first set. In the ladies' game, I haven't really been keeping tabs on the ladies. Any Italians? I don't think there's any Italian ladies left. I liked Azarenka coming from behind the other week, but this will play out in play, I think. So see you at 1:30 p.m. today for a live stream. Our full details will be here at footballtradingprofits.com. It'll be members only live stream today. I look forward to seeing you. Let's make some more money.